Today, I'm excited to announce that a great person, he's been the driving force, he's been a visionary, he's been called the Leonardo da Vinci of paddle in the United States. He's a trailblazer in the paddle world, and his name is Martin Moresco. He's the creator, inventor, and visionary of the NPL, National Padel League. Welcome, Martin, to our program.
Welcome to Padel Smash Academy.
And we are all things paddle.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Cesar. Thank you, Juli. Really happy to be here.
So how did you get into paddle in general? Did you start playing that when you were a younger kid, or did you play it here?
Well, actually, I come from Argentina. So back in the 90s, in Argentina, it was so popular, paddle, 80s, 90s. So I started in Argentina 30 years ago, and now here we are,
So when did you come here to the US?
So we came here with my family in actually 11 years ago. So after traveling, living and working in France, in Mexico. So yeah, then we moved to Miami.
Wow. Now, did you see paddle here in Miami yet, or was it popular yet, or did they have any clubs at all?
When we arrived to Miami, nobody spoke about paddle. So it was in the middle of the pandemic that we start to see something, especially I live in Key Biscayne. So Ritz-Carlton opened the first 3 courts at the end of 2019. For me, it was mid of 2020 that I started playing paddle again.
Wow, that's great. That's great. So how did you come up with the idea of creating the National Padel League?
So, I am the co-founder of a sport drink, Rejoy. I think most of the people know this brand already. So it was in the middle of the pandemic that with a couple of friends in the island, in Key Biscayne, so we decided to start running a tournament that we call a Copa Rejoy. So at that time we were only, I think it was no more than 10 couples. So, and it was the beginning, I think Juli was at that time there as well. Thanks God we could continue building the project, which now is called since almost 2 years, it's called National Padel League. So we really elevate the bet.
So how did that actually happen? I mean, you have 10 couples and you're playing. How did it come to you to say, hey, look, I'm going to open up a league? And then number one, a second is how do you actually execute that?
So, first, it's so the paddle in US is actually it's from scratch, so we have all to do be forward, so what I saw at that time is that the people, so two things. First, the idea to compete in a really amateur and friendly I would say atmosphere.
Yeah.
So and second, to give the chance for the people to socialize while you are playing paddle, so we see this opportunity to really take and to create this community, which is called today National Padel League.
And let me ask you, so the National Padel League, and I think, first of all, I love the name. We create national, means like, the NFL, National Football League, the National Padel League, and I just love it. So what are the, right now you started very small in Key Biscayne, and then you grew from there, and now you're playing in different places. What other places is the NPL playing right now? What other states or clubs or things like that?
So today we are mainly in Miami. So since beginning of this year, we start also in Charlotte. We are talking right now actually to start in Houston and Dallas. So we are a small team so far. So we try to execute in a really good way. So that's why we want. I want to make sure that with the team we can execute the cities and the clubs that we decide to move forward with the National Padel League. So Yeah.
And here in Miami, I know you because I've been playing. Actually, I'm playing right now the NPL, and you play in different clubs. So you started in Key Biscayne. Now, what other clubs in Miami have you done the NPL?
So today in Miami, we are playing in Key Biscayne, in Ultra, in Open Paddle. So we are playing in Smart Paddle House in Doral. So far. So last year we played in Wingwood, in Real Paddle. So some matches as well in Paddle Life. I mean, at the end, as always, I said to the club owners, so NPL has to play a role within the club calendar in terms of activities within the club. So we are another proposal to include in the calendar to execute for the club during the year. You see what I mean? So that's the aim and the role that we play with the NPL within the club's calendar.
Now, what other states do you participate in? Does NPL participate in?
So in terms of states,
Yes.
So it's North Carolina, and that's so far that's it. So
North Carolina and Miami, right?
And you have Texas too.
and so it's coming soon, Texas and Florida.
So what's the goal? Is the goal to expand out to other states or just focus mostly on Florida?
No, so the target is to run the National Padel League in all the cities where the paddle is established, and also to help the new clubs, in those new cities, to be part of the National Padel League and to promote its clubs, So
Right.
because there is something really important in the NPL, which is the most, I would say, the key date or the key event in the NPL, which is the Masters Miami. So by participating in the NPL, all the clubs around the US can be part of the Masters Miami, and that's the goal.
So Martin, let me ask you one thing. So how does the league work? So let's say I wanna play in the league. So how does it work? Do I have to get my partner? Where do I register? How's that work?
Okay, so actually we change, so we improve. Actually, we evolve the format. So today, so in each season, so first I will start with the end, which is the Masters Miami. In order to qualify for the Masters Miami, you have to be within the best 16 players in the season. In order to collect or to gain points in this season, you have to compete in our different format that we have in terms of tournaments, which are the league, which is the most popular one. It's a league format that is played. So this season it's 2 months. Okay, are groups of 6 couples. So and the league is the one that give you more points if you win the season, the format. Yeah. Then you have weekend tournaments. So we played in different clubs. It's 2 days tournament, different levels, and the winner gets 250 points. In the league is 300 points. And then we have a third format, which is the express tournament, that it is a half a day. So we played to 1 set. So, and this format give you, for the winner, 150 points. So at the end of the season, so in order to be within the best 16 players, you have to gain as much point as possible. So this will give you the chance to be on the ranking.
So let's identify the different leagues and what the formats are. Because I remember when I first started the NPL, I really loved that format. I mean, it was something new. Nobody else had it, and you're playing within different people within different clubs, which I thought was amazing. And it was a long league, which was great. And you played 2 sets, and then there was a tiebreaker. And I guess the top, I think 3 made it to the Miami finals. And there was like 3 categories. I think beginners, intermediate, and advanced. or something
Yeah,
like
actually, it was advanced, intermediate, and low intermediate.
that. Low intermediate, right? So I love that format. What has changed?
So basically, we add new formats. So we add 2 new formats in terms of tournament, which are the weekend tournament. It's a typical 2 days tournament.
Does it have a specific name?
Weekend tournament.
NPL weekend tournament.
NPL weekend tournament. Yeah.
Okay.
And so how many games would you play? Let's just
So
say?
in the weekend tournament, so you play as minimum 2 matches, and then we have the main draw and the back draw. So if you pass these first two matches, you can play either in the main draw or the back draw, and then you have the semi-final and final.
So you're guaranteed to lose twice. Pretty
Exactly.
Much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good.
So actually, yesterday we played in Open Padel this weekend, the last weekend. So only for intermediate. So yes, it's two matches.
And then what's the other one?
And the other one is for me, it's quite interesting to see this format, which is the Express MPL tournament, which is a half-a-day tournament where you play minimum 2 matches as well, but the matches are for 1 set. Okay, so in half a day we have a winner. So it's a kind of open or Americano. Or
So how many sets do you play in a half a day?
so if you are in the final, you will play 5 games
5 games.
or
Five
5
sets.
sets.
5 sets.
Yeah.
And if you lose, you play only 2 sets.
Yes. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the other league, the regular league. How long is that, and how does that work?
Okay, so the regular league, it's a 2-month league. So where we have in each category different groups from different part of Miami, even from North Carolina, from Charlotte. So within your group is a round robin, and from there, so depending on your position in the group, you will get your points, and those points will play for your ranking, so your final ranking for the season. You see what I mean? So this is, so it takes 2 months.
So is this the same kind of format as last time, just a little bit different? Meaning, like, okay, you're going to be playing, let's say these two, and then you have a certain time you have to go and play, and then if one person can't play, then you have to reschedule. Is it that same type of format?
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yes. So so now, yeah, this is the format.
So has there been anything to improve that? Because I know many times that there's people who cancel, and it's not like their fault or the other person's fault. And to try to get them to play, sometimes it's a little bit difficult.
Yeah, so actually, we a couple of things we have done in order to improve this
Experience.
This experience, yeah, right. So first, to make it shorter. So last season it took also 3 months and a half.
Yeah.
So, and in Miami, all the people travel a lot, so it's not easy to make sure that you can play every week. So make it shorter. On the other hand, what we are trying now, and I think it's gonna be for the next season even more, to give the power for the couples to coordinate 100% their matches. So this is the way that I think can avoid any misunderstanding, to take it longer. So, and of course, today in Miami and in some other cities, it's not easy to find bookings, let's say. So that's why at the beginning in the MPL, we decide to take these bookings, to pay in advance for them in order to have enough space for the players to book their courts. So now we are moving, now that's the level of competition and new clubs are already in Miami, we see that we can start giving the couples the chance to coordinate their match instead of us.
Okay, so let's be clear on it. First, it's a little bit shorter, right? So it's easier to play all your matches. And second, it's up to the two pairs to set up a time. Now, is a court already prepaid, or once they find the time, do they have to pay for it?
So now it's prepaid.
Okay.
So, but it will be the last one that is gonna be prepaid for the next season. So each couple and each match has to be paid for by the players. Okay.
Gotcha.
So, but we are working on that right now. So hopefully soon we will come back with the new program.
Yeah, it's smart. I think it's gonna work a lot better that way. You know, I mean,
you think so?
well, I'm like a passionate paddle player, so I don't care. I'll play whenever. You know, I would have to be hurt not to play. But I know there's other people not as passionate, and you know, maybe paddle's not in their priority, and they're vacationing or doing this or doing that, and that's where kind of.
But let me just play a little bit the devil's advocate here. So now, if next session, now you have to book the court, right? Let's say now there is no courts for us to book because everything is booked already. So I know the way you're doing it right now, it's you tell us certain day, certain time, that's your match. So now, if we have to book our courts and there is no courts to be booked, so how do we do it?
I think you'll be more vested if you do that. See, if somebody else books it, you're like, let me just reschedule, or I can, or I want to do this. But if you book it and you're already vested, you're less likely to cancel. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, but it's a good point. What you mentioned, Juli. That's why. In the MPL, we have to continue working together with the clubs in order to give some space for those matches, you know.
Yeah.
So, but we need to have the clubs involved in this, I would say, in this process. So, and this is part of our job, you know. So make sure that if you will play the MPL, the league format, you will have space to play or to book your courts, you know. So
I mean, I'm just trying to think also as a business person. I think from the business perspective, as a club owner, I think it's great for the MPL do the pre-booking, because now I'm guaranteeing that those courts are going to be booked regardless of the time or day or whatever, and it's just money that is secure for the club. So my question is, so now you're doing it in reverse right now. So now the club is not benefiting from that pre-booking. So now the club has to wait for each couple to make the arrangement and then book it.
I think it reduces risk on the actual company, because if people cancel, then you're stuck with that. And if nobody uses it, then you've already.
Because I'm trying to think, which first of all, the MPL, I think it's a beautiful event, and I really enjoy it. And it's very similar to the USTA tennis leagues, you know, in tennis, where it's organized by the USTA, and you just play your league or your level, blah, blah, blah. So you go to different clubs and you play those leagues. This is almost the same thing. It's a little bit more, because it's something new, it's a growing process. But if you play in the tennis league, it's exactly the same thing. You go and you get a certain day and you go and play that match. So how do you see the future? How is it going to be so it's more streamlined?
So what I see, so it's key to have more clubs, much more infrastructure in terms of courts. So, but I see our vision is quite similar than what you mentioned, the USTA format, you know. So because at the end in the MPL, what we have is an ecosystem. So we always in the team, what we say is, hey, we provide an experience to the players, you know. So we have to make sure that the players who decide to play within the MPL already could know, okay, what to expect, you know, in terms of this experience. So, and by this experience, we mean a competition, socialize, and of course to have a ranking, and also we have something that we don't talk so far, which is at the end, all these points that you collect by playing in the MPL, it can be exchanged in our catalog of products. That so each point that you gain equal to $50. So all these points that you have in your wallet, let's say the MPL wallets, it can be exchanged for rackets. So we have Dunlop, we have Royal, we have many other brands. We have Sport Nutrition, even courts. So you can book your courts with this point.
That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's sort of like frequent flyer miles.
Exactly
So
that.
then you can reuse them for something. I mean, you cannot redeem them for cash, but you can redeem them for other products or court time and all that. I love that idea. When it's, let me ask one thing. Me as a MPL player, where can I check how many points do I have, and how's that process work?
But actually, in our website, so you have all your points that you gain during this season. Okay, so after this conversation, you can go to check in our website, and you will see your points. And as soon as you know your points, you can see also in the web our catalog, and you can see all the products that we have, and you can exchange by your points. So it is updated every week. Okay, so every week. So today,
I love the idea.
Yeah, today for the winners that we had yesterday, so they have the point already in the website.
In that format of the league, is it 2 sets that you play in a tiebreaker, or is it a full hour and a half of 3 sets?
No, it's 2 sets and super tiebreak.
Okay, so like before.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
The same.
2 sets, golden point, and a
Yeah.
super tiebreak up to
Yeah.
10.
I like
Okay.
that. That's pretty good. Okay, going back to prizes. Okay, so I'm gonna. We talk to a lot of players. We interview a lot of players, and we ask them this question all the time: can you do this for a living? Right? And the girls, they usually say, no, not right now. There's gonna be some time before they can do it. The guys are saying, yes, we're starting to be able to do this for a living, or we see like there's an opportunity to do it for a living. So now they're going full time in this, and I'm asking them how and why. And number one, they're asking number one sponsors, right? I see a lot of that because they're getting a lot of money from sponsors. They're getting them paying food, trips, everything they need, and even some cash. Now there's other tournaments that are paying cash as well, cash prizes. How do you see that? And how can you compete with other companies that are giving out $2,000, $5,000, $10,000? So how does MPL compete with that?
Yeah. So definitely we are not there. So we are not in this kind of prices that it never end. So I believe on prices that can be afforded by this kind of league, the MPL. We are not a pro league, okay? So and the people who are part of the MPL are people that are not looking for money as a prize,
Gotcha.
It's more to be part of something, to be part of a community.
Yeah. So it's similar to like the USTA leagues, basically. I mean, they're not competing for money or big trophies. They're competing for the name of the club, for representing the club and all that.
So it's for fun. It's just for recreational. You love doing it. So you're not really, your market is that market there, which honestly is the majority market, because the small market is the professionals, right? Gotcha. So that's your model then. So do you see yourself in the future being able to do that, or just really sticking to that model?
Listen, so I see this model at least for the next 2-3 years, and then it depends. It depends how fast the paddle will be developed in US. Again, so we are not a pro league, so we are clear about which is our target.
Yep.
So far, I don't see this.
I see things going very fast in the last year. Extremely fast.
I mean, the
And
growth.
the growth
Yeah.
and just, and when you start putting money there, you start getting all the people, and you see more competition. So I'm seeing it growing growth. I mean, it's incredible. And I foresee it. Look at all the clubs that are opening up, the more players. I mean, people coming from other countries to play here. I mean, it's pretty amazing. So I'm looking forward to see the next year and the following year and where this goes.
Yeah, but listen, at the end, again, as I said, we want to play a key role for the clubs. We want to be as an option for the club's calendar. So, of course, each club has already their own league or tournament. You have the USPA tournament. There are others. The MPL is a format per se that has to fit within the club calendar.
So now if the clubs already if the clubs already filled up, so what demand would they have for, let's say an MPL?
Well, let me rephrase that question.
Sure.
But I think it's very good because I'm in this both sides. I'm an MPL player. I manage clubs and I coach in clubs and all that. I've seen in the past, a few club owners to give you some pushback. They're trying to don't pee in my turf. So, which I don't think it's right. I mean, it's because all of us were in the mission of make paddle better in the United States, to growth paddle in the United States. So I think partnering with the NPL is very, very important. So tell us a little bit, are you getting good feedback from the club owners? Are you getting some pushback, or where do you stand? NPL stands in there,
Or is it getting a little more difficult because now, the courts are all booked now, and that's what's going on now.
Yeah,
versus
but
a year,
at the
2
end of
years
the day,
later.
he's guaranteeing the court. I mean, regardless if he's prime time or not.
So 2 years ago, I think a club owner would be like, okay, that's great. But now there's so many more clubs opening up because there's so many people playing. So now they're filling them up. They're like, oh, I don't need anybody because I'm already filling them up. So it might be a little more difficult now than it was, let's say, a year or 2 years ago.
Listen, it's one of the challenges that we face. No, I am clear that it will change, and at the moment that we have more clubs, more clubs means more players.
I think it's
more
positive
availability.
to have more clubs.
More availability.
Exactly,
Gotcha.
and also the clubs will need to improve the content of the calendar, right? So the activity calendar. So and then if tomorrow also open courts in a public park, or similar than tennis or pickleball, I mean, this is another story, right?
Yeah.
So again, so we are here to work together with the clubs, and as you said, today, of course, you have the prime time is fully booked. So then, okay, we need to find another time to play the league. It's fine. We are doing exactly that right now. So, but it's changing every season. It changes a lot,
But are you getting help from the club owners? That's my question.
Yeah, definitely yes. It's still, work in progress. You can have some owners that are more, I would say,
open to it then.
more open. Others not too much. But it's our job to convince and to show them how the MPL can be part of their offer. That's our mission as well.
When I first started MPL, I loved it. I thought it was a great idea. I played with people I've never played with before, and I got introduced to a lot of great people. It was awesome.
And it's fun. It's great socializing, and it's very competitive too because everybody wants to win. So I think it's a brilliant idea. This is my 4th or 5th MPL that I play, and it's just great. So we talk about the different points. If you play the MPL, how many points is that?
So the league.
The league.
It gives 300 points.
Okay.
For each player. So for the couple, is 6,000 points.
Okay, and that's
Sorry, 600.
600, and that lasts 2 months.
Yeah,
Then you have the weekend league,
250.
250, and then you have the express.
100,
MPLA.
150.
Okay.
So we have 300, 250, and 150.
Okay, and let me ask you a very important question. So let's say I play all three, right? But all three with different partners. So how does that work?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a
There you
good
go.
one.
Yeah.
Well, actually, so when I mentioned this, the first 16 players, it's not the couple, it's the player. So you have your own points.
Individual.
Okay, so you can play the league with Diego as you played, but then the weekend tournament with, so you can play, I don't know, two
With
or
Cesar.
three with Cesar, and you have your points.
Okay.
It's for you, and then so you probably you will be within the best 16 players. It means that by being part of these 16 best players, you will choose your couple to play the Masters Miami.
But within those 16?
No.
So I can play, let's
Yeah,
say.
the only condition is that the one who you will bring to be part of your team has to be played at least one of the format during the season in the MPL.
Oh,
So
interesting.
let me
Very
ask you a
good.
question. So the two best players could really play with each other if they're smart enough to say, "Hey, look, you're pretty good. I'm pretty good. But I know we don't
Yeah.
play with each other. Let's play together to win this tournament."
Yeah, if
Wow.
they know each other, sometimes
Right.
it's
If
not.
they play
It's
the
not
left
only
or
to
they play the right. If they're compatible,
yeah,
right?
it's and sorry, and also then the key event, which is the Masters Miami, and this is at the end is the Champion League, let's say, no,
Yes.
the Masters Miami.
So we have the 16 players now going to the Miami Masters.
16 players that makes 16
So you have 32.
exactly 16 teams.
Yeah, 16 teams.
Okay, in each category: advanced, intermediate, and low intermediate.
Okay.
The winner of the Masters Miami in advance, they gain 2,000 points each of them. So each player. Okay, so at the end we have 2,000 points for Masters Miami, 300 for the league. Then we have a weekend tournament 250, and for the express one 150.
Okay. So another very tricky question here, which I love this because it happened to me. How do you define the levels? Because many people think that they don't want to play in advance because they say they're not too good, but they're kicking everyone's butt on the intermediate,
Right.
and vice versa. And some ones, they downgrade themselves to win easily. So how do you, what is the rating system, or what is the recommended rating for them to play either intermediate, low intermediate, or advanced?
This is a good point as well. So actually we have a partnership with Playtomic, which is the #1 worldwide booking a padel marketplace system in the world. So first we have the rating in Playtomic, but then we have others, so other apps, even the clubs, they know quite well the players. So we try to use all first Playtomic, but then all what we can get from the market, let's say, right? So, and then of course, for example, I play in advance, but I am a low advance. So I can play either in intermediate or in advance. You have players like so I prefer to play in advance, even knowing that I will not gain the league or the masters, so
They're more competitive.
exactly.
I think there's a lot of people like you.
Yeah,
Right in that middle, that
Yeah,
little-
exactly. So because at the end you can have, I don't know, 50 different levels, so for me the main challenge, and is what we pursue in the league, is we want to have matches that is 6-4, 6-3, 6-5, tie break, I don't want to see matches that is 6-0, 6-1. So this is our goal, so to try to have all these couples together.
It's a difficult. What do you think about Playtomic? I mean, about their level system. I mean, it's only as good as the games that you win. I mean,
the games that you play. Actually,
you could be playing with somebody that's really not that good, and then you lose because of that, or you can manipulate it and get somebody really good to win that game, and not everybody puts in their the games as well.
No, but I think Playtomic plays every time you play a game, either with friends or professional, you can upload it and put the result, and that the algorithm that gives you a specific target, right?
So what happens to me is that when I play somebody, and let's just say my partner's kind of weak, like Julian here, we lose because of him. They end up putting it on, right? And I don't even know. And then when I play with somebody better, maybe with you, we win.
Yeah.
I don't put it in, I forget. So like, how accurate can that be?
I think that's part of the process.
The other thing, you can have a bad day too. You know what I'm saying? Just not playing well. You play 2 times. So it's very, I don't know. I don't see there to be a perfect system yet. And I'm dying for somebody to create something, or we've talked about it many times, and it's not that easy. Sometimes I wish you could just have a quick video, like a 20-second video. Hey, I need an advanced player. Would you like to play? Never played with you. Yeah, send me your video. And it's like 10-second video just to see how you play. Yes, you'll fit, or no, you will not fit. Because sometimes you go play and the guy says he's a 5 or something, or 5.5, and then it's a waste of time. It's like, oh my gosh, man. Maybe a 5 in tennis or something, but not in paddle. Or
have you had issues where let's say the intermediates, they were too advanced and they shouldn't be playing that in that level, and they should be their move up, or they're winning every match 6-0, 6-0, and they're killing everybody? Have you had those problems?
We have had all these type of problems, So yeah, listen. So I think it's not an easy one. The levels.
Yeah.
It's our role, our job. Together with the clubs and together with other leagues and other apps, to make sure that we are being as accurate as possible. But at the end, you have people that will try to find the way to
manipulate.
Well, something that happened to me when I played the first MPL. I played with the great Mario, the Flying Manatee Magro, which we won the intermediate level. So I said, okay, now let's play the advanced. But my partner refuses, even though we won, and he's still playing intermediate, but he should be playing advanced. So I'm playing advanced, and he's still playing. He really broke my heart, my friend. And that's it. It's so how can. If you win the intermediate, are you obligated to move to the advanced, or you can stay on the intermediate?
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
They should, right?
No, and this is something that, some people ask me about that, So your example is for me, it's super interesting. It depends on the player. So you have players that they don't want to move to other category. They are. And it's fine, So you have people that are really maybe high intermediate and they don't want to move to advanced. It's fine. It's and also paddle you play in couples, So also depend of your couple, So you can be advanced, but then you are playing with a guy that it's intermediate. Clear intermediate, so together maybe you can play so you have plenty of options in terms of level.
How about the opposite? If you're playing advanced and you're getting be 6-0, 6-0 to the whole advanced league, shouldn't they then be pushed to intermediate, even though they want to play advanced the following year? Because it makes no sense, because sometimes you're wasting time. And honestly, the first year that we played, I played both, actually, intermediate and advanced. I went to intermediate thinking, okay, that's probably where I want to be. And then somebody asked me to play, and I said, I'm already playing. He said, well, let's play advanced. I'm like, okay. So we did. So I got to see kind of both. And
did you win intermediate? Because I did.
No,
I won the intermediate. How about you?
I got hurt.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I remember
if not, we would have won it.
it was
So-
in Masters Miami, right?
Yeah, but we beat the team that won it last year. So
Yeah.
that makes you feel better. But so I played that intermediate, and I would have to say 30% or 25% were challenging, maybe 20% of the intermediate. Then I played advanced, and that was the same thing. I think most of them were kind of intermediate, and then the upper 20% were probably advanced. I know it's the first year, and there's more players now, so I'm assuming it's it's changing or getting better in that respect.
Yeah, and also, sometimes, again, when you have a match that ends in 6 or 6, there's something wrong there.
Yeah.
So either one of the couple are in other level, so above this level, or the other is below expectations.
right.
So but for sure there is a problem there. So
Right.
yeah.
And so the NPL. So what are I know you have men and women, correct?
Right.
Or you put them together? Because
You
I
can-
know
no,
the red paddle and all that, they put them all together. Are you doing separate or?
No, you can play. So we have woman category as well, but even in the main, I would say in the main competition, you can play with the woman
Like
if you
the
want.
open,
Yeah,
could be
it's
anybody.
open.
Okay. And out of the two, which one is the most successful right now, the men or the woman?
The men.
The men. Because I see in Key Biscayne and all over, there is a lot of women playing paddle, and they're really addicted to it, and they really love it. What do you think it will take for them to start competing more in the NPL, which I believe it's a great option for them to have?
It's something that we actually in all our seasons we have actually a woman category.
So you do the NPL, the 2 months,
Yes.
you do it men and women, the weekend and the express, you do it both men and women.
great.
Yeah, so always. So it's true that we have more demand on men's, So, but it's something that we need to continue working in order to bring more women to play and to compete. Actually,
Now, was there ever a league like yours prior to creating this league, National Padel League?
say it again.
Was there another league like yours before you created yours?
No. Actually, we were the first one in I would say in US. So yeah, and again, so actually we will celebrate our 3rd year in August, September. We will do a big show, a big event.
Nice, congratulations! I remember when PL when this first started. It was like, it was nothing like that. It was like, oh my god, this is awesome!
It was super
play,
fun. Yeah. Everybody played with it. It was a little bit, kind of crazy in the beginning, but everything settled down.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I remember, back to the 2020, talking with Julian, with a kind of brainstorming, because
if it's going to be possible or not.
I don't come from this industry since ever, So for me, it's new. So and I did it from scratch, So really, I thanks all the people like Julian that gave me the time to discuss, to exchange ideas, and then of course is execute, and to have players that at the beginning were more friends than players that support all the mistakes that we did.
Yeah.
And today we are almost 1,000 players, in the NPL.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's why you've been called the Leonardo da Vinci of paddle. The visionary, the trailblazer, the creator. I think it's a
pioneer,
great
the pioneer.
Yeah, too much pressure for me.
Martin, so now with many other clubs popping up, West Coast, Chicago, Northeast, New York, and all that, there are 3 or 4 clubs coming up. How are you planning to start expanding to those clubs? Are you already reaching out to the reserve in New York, Paddle House and all that? And if you did, what was the feedback that you got from them?
Well, actually, we did not approach these 2 that you mentioned. But we have a team working with me, together with me, that we are approaching all the new clubs around US. So, and I have to say that we had a great answer in order to start including them in the NPL calendar. So hopefully in October and November, but even now in August, we will have new clubs within the NPL family.
Can you share the secret, or it's top secret?
Yeah, so far it's top secret.
Come on. At least, a hint, maybe the state.
Please, I can come back in 1 month.
What
Okay,
state?
okay.
No?
Oh, he's gonna give it away.
Okay, let's do East Coast or West Coast?
Both.
But whoa, I like it.
Nice.
Okay,
Okay, so we'll definitely have you back in a
excellent.
month.
Yeah.
We need to know that. I want to ask you another question. The PPL. What do you think about the PPL? Did you watch it? What's your?
Yeah. So actually, it's a great competition. I was there during the first day, the opening session ceremony.
Interesting. How was you feeling? I mean, what was your feeling there? Did you like it?
Yeah. So I think they had a great players there. Of course, it's the first one. So
a lot of room for improvement.
Yeah,
for
sure. As all of us,
Yeah,
so
of course.
it's again, as I said at the beginning. So we are facing something which is quite particular, to be part of a new industry in US. So we are building from scratch, all of us. You with your podcast, so me with the NPL, the PPL. So we need to be hand by hand. We need to be sure that we are complementary one to the other.
With the same mission and vision, make paddle grow in the United States. Let me ask you one thing. We got the feedback from quite of the players that they play at the PPL that why they are not here in Miami, do the PPL. What was your perception there? I mean, Miami being so many paddle clubs, they say that place is in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing much to do. What was your feeling there?
No, my feeling is the same. I mean, I think it has to be played in Miami.
Do you think there's a little bit of politics, and that's why they were there?
Maybe yes.
Because it would give a lot more exposure here.
Yeah,
for sure. Everybody would have went.
For sure.
It would have been huge.
For sure. And then I don't know actually. I'm guessing. So you have a great clubs here to run the PPL. So, but I believe for the next season they will definitely take it into consideration and to have all these good players here.
Yeah. I mean, we have press passes to go to cover it, but it's like 4 hours away, and we're trying to coordinate it, and it was just like
here would be perfect. With so many clubs, you will have 3,000-4,000 people every day watching it,
and you would have more people like us covering it. That is just going to give more exposure to it.
You are totally right. Again, I think all the PPL team took note already about that. I hope so. And so
good. So final question: where do you see the NPL going from here into the future in the United States?
So I believe and I work in order to become the NPL the bigger league in US. So this is just the beginning, just the beginning.
Excellent.
All right, Martin. I love the NPL. I love playing in it. Congratulations on the 3 years, and I wish you all the luck.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you, especially you guys. That's you are one of the main supporters of the NPL. So thank you very much for having me, and congratulations for Padel Smash Academy. I love you guys. I follow you, and we need more like you. So more content, more everything.
And we're all in the same mission and vision.
And if you can, so I know that people love the glasses of Julian. A lot of people are asking me, hey, where he buy the glasses?
If you
So-
want to DM me, please put a message right below. I'll send you the
So
links.
they don't know actually if it changed the color because of
Like a
the
chameleon.
weather
It's like
or
a chameleon,
it's just
like a
because
chameleon there.
he has several of the same model,
I have
different
about
colors.
15 different colors.
I got
Okay.
a good reel. You go
Yeah.
when it changes.
Guys, if you haven't already, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications.
And remember, it's free 99. It doesn't cost you anything to hit that subscribe button.
Thanks for tuning in to Padel Smash Academy. We hope you'll find our videos informative, helpful in improving your game and learning all things paddle.
So until next time, keep improving your game. And remember, learn, play, and share.